Good afternoon. I just got another download, and the question that's being asked is, how important is peace to you? And how do you protect your peace? Those are two questions. Only you have the answer. Each person has their unique answers, so no one can emulate the others. Okay? I'm going to answer it the way I protect my peace. First, let me start off with how important having peace is. Peace is the ultimate healer. That's it, and that's all. Without peace brings in, whether you want to believe it or not, because you can research it for yourself, as I did, brings about sickness, which majority of times brings about death. Whenever you see a type of division occurring or trying to occur, you cut it off. That's it, that's all. That's the ultimate red flag. Because division is going to bring about discord. Period. Bottom line. Peace brings about unity. Now, we can agree to disagree. That's still unity. But all that arguing, all that drama, backbiting, you this, you that, what comes out of that? Is that positive or negative? And so these are the questions that when things such as that arise, that we ask ourselves, or we should, or I've been doing that now. We should not automatically react to a negative response, a negative connotation. First of all, you need to take the time, evaluate the question, then respond. An automatic response after someone has said something is a sign of immaturity. And I had to learn that because of issues that I had to acknowledge that I had, which were not wanting to accept what was before me. So now, you don't go on potential. You go on who you are when you look in the mirror. So, because I choose now to look in the mirror and start with me first, oh man, you talking about peace beyond imagination. We only have control over ourselves. You have no control over anyone else. You can try to have that, but in the end, see what you sow, you're gonna reap. Period. What does it do unto others as you can have them do unto you? That's it, and that's all. So if you go into that the your whole entire life seeking peace, protecting your peace, and starting with yourself and protecting the inner self, oh, that's you're rich, because it starts with you, not no one else. We have the power within us. We look for that, or we have been looking for that. Or let me just take it on a personal side. I have, through others, validation, people pleasing, and that all stemmed from childhood, issues. But when you look within, accept the fact what has happened, forgive inward, forgive yourself, just yourself for not accepting who you are. Point blank, you are who you are. No one can try to make, they can try to make you, but you're fighting a battle when you know who you are and someone's trying to impress on you what they want you to become. No, that's when you take a stand. Say, no, that's not who I am. This is who I am. And if you don't like it, you can take a hike. That part. Some will say, that's inconsiderate. No, it's not. Because you have to save yourself first and foremost. Yourself. I look at how traditions kill people. They actually kill people. When people find out that the reason why others in the tradition has kept a tradition just because someone else had it or did it and didn't find out why they were doing it, and the cycle just kept repeating itself. No productivity, none whatsoever, other than what the tradition wanted. But is that why you were here? You will never know. Because you dealt with someone else's hand, basically on who they wanted you to be and what they wanted you to become. So really, who are you? Do you know? Because for years I didn't know. I became and was what others wanted me to be. And until I awakened, that tradition kept recycling. No more. No. Well, you need to do it this way because it's been done this way before. And it's been done this way. And everybody else does it and this and that and all that. Okay, and have you asked the question why they do it? Where it come from? Okay, now, being awakened and looking at myself, because that cycle, you keep going through the same cycle, for years and years and years and years and years. And you're like, wait. And each cycle, to me, it got worse. Excuse me. No, I'm tired of that. But you got to get tired of that. And so, everybody is unique and authentic. Everybody. It's up to us to find what our purpose is and how to go about accomplishing our purpose. The way I accomplish mine and the methods to which I use is me. It's going to be totally different from yours. But where we go wrong is we look at someone else. Look at the red bird. Oh my goodness, look at that. Messenger. We look at someone else's and we try to emulate that. And that's not who we are. Again, here we go. Not going within, finding out who you are. Bottom line. Well, if someone says things to you, or they say it to me, to make you feel bad because, everybody does it this way. Like, I'm up in age. I've been in a marriage that failed tremendously, and I saw the flags, but I kept on and I kept on because I was trying to beat a dead horse. Basically, that's what was happening, because I could never change anyone, because I had to first start within me. So, with all that being said, I see the importance of protecting my peace. That's it, and that's all. And I find myself being more healthier, my focus, I'm more alert. I can see now with a clearer mindset. And when I say see, I'm talking about the third eye. I'm not talking about seeing here. So that means being connected to your spiritual counselor. Bottom line. I won't go into religion because that's a box. I'm open. And because of that, I can see with the pineal gland. That's it. And that's all. I owe no explanation to anyone but Juanita. And when you find yourself standing on who is inside you, who is you? You are inside you. When you find you, that's powerful. That's powerful. You can only do you. You can only do you. And that's wonderful. That's absolutely wonderful. Yeah. So with all that being said, protect your peace no matter what. I'm talking about when it comes down to siblings. And when I say siblings, I'm talking about your children, your family, your aunts, uncles, mother, father, all of that. Now, let me say this. And man, that download was awesome. The Creator said, look at the animals. Look at the eagles. Look at the lions. Okay? They do a certain amount of upbringing to their offsprings. Upbringing of survival. How to fly or how to hunt. Everything for survival. So they teach this. And they get to a certain point, the cubs or the winglets, like take the eagle for example. They don't build no house or no nest for the grandkids. They don't do that. They don't do that. They don't build the nest for their own eaglets to stay in the nest. They make that nest where it ain't so comfortable as they get older to stay in the nest. Because what they're doing is preparing them to go outside of the nest for survival. We in turn supposed to be smart Look at what we do. No. We go into debt. We say we owe this to our grandkids. We owe this to them, our children, after you teach them to survive on their own. And then we interfere with their journey, which brings about a relapse to our journey. Now, some of you, I know you're going to disagree. That's on you. Like I said, I'm connected. I'm going forward. I'm not going by tradition or any of that. I'm going by the Creator and what He's showing me and what I have been shown and what I have lived thus far. Period. I learned so much from looking at nature. So I do. And look out. Wonderful. So why can't we do that? Why aren't we setting these examples? They are. Look at what they're doing. And the Creator made them. I'm not understanding this. That's why I was saying about me. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Then I'm doing this totally backwards. Say, well, once a man, twice a child. Heaven on earth. Wait, what? So we living in poverty or going in all this debt for our children and our grandkids because we haven't taught them to do what now? With their lives. No. Come on. What's going on here? So many people, you argue that, and for many times, I saw it the way I guess people are seeing it. But I don't see that anymore because I can see. And not through these eyes. I'm looking through nature. The animals don't do that. And some will argue the fact, they're look at we're supposed to be smarter, but look at what they're doing. They're moving on. They birth them, they teach them, and they let them go. We don't. We think we're supposed to run their lives. Pick them up when they're torn down. Now, I'm not saying being cold-hearted or whatever, but advice, that's free. But picking up the slack, no. That's not it. No. That's not how they learn. That's why it keeps repeating itself. And then you're depleted. Why? Because that is not what it was instituted to be. So, in all of that, that's why I am so glad that I have the source, that I can see, and that I'm free from the matrix of what everyone else is doing. Period. When you get into nature, when you look at the stars, when you go out and you look at the sun, and you look at the birds, and you see how the ants, just things such as that, all of the creation. You can't see the air, but you know it's there. The atoms, the neurons, all of this makes up life in general. And so I'm saying, start living life. Life is in you. Happiness is in you. Peace and joy is in you. Don't allow someone to come in, or you give it to them. You give that up. That's not for the taking. No one, and I'm not giving it to anybody. Period. I love who Juanita is. who Juanita is. I learned a little late, but it's better late than never. So my advice to you, don't keep delaying who you are. Know who you are, love who you are, accept who you are, and be who you are. I can say no more. It's been enough said. You all have a wonderful day.